Hey FHN! I'm Olivia Graeser.
I'm Braeden Kettinger.
And welcome to The Nightly Show. Today we're going to take a look at a new local hit restaurant, some tips on how to improve your chess game, and some pretty cute puppies.
You won't want to miss this. In local news, St. Louis city officials have unveiled their plan for the $277 million worth of Rams settlement money. Before the 2016 NFL season, the St. Louis Rams relocated back to the city of Los Angeles, California, leaving St. Louis with a hole in their city's revenue. To compensate for the loss, the Rams were sued by the city, which reached a historic agreement in 2022. The Rams would pay $277 million to the city, and just this week, St. Louis city leaders announced their plans for the funding.
$74 million will be directed specifically towards the city's downtown area, while another $40 million is set aside to provide for the North St. Louis region. The remaining funds will be used to benefit local education, childcare, and public parks.
Heading away from the city and back to our very own town of St. Charles, local dog daycares are on the rise. Unlike myself, many families receive their Christmas miracles in a much cuter, smaller, and fuzzier way. With all these new puppies comes a new time-consuming responsibility that most people can't take care of nonstop every day.
Their answer? Baxter's Canine Complex, located in St. Peters, Missouri. This doggy daycare provides a break for the owner and a break for the puppies.
Here's a video by Bartels and Riley Aldenderfer on the daycare and its helpful impact on dog owners in the community.
Dog daycares are safe, fun places for your pet to be while you are busy. The dogs develop friendships, calm habits, and are consistently fed healthy food. But many are nervous to leave their dog in an unknown place for so long. What are the overall benefits to a dog daycare?
For our daycare dogs, they'll usually come in and they'll hang out in our yard all day. And they play, and if they need naps, because sometimes dogs get overstimulated. And they're a lot like children in that way, where they, you know how kids, they get cranky and they get fussy. Dogs, when they get tired, are kind of similar, and they tend to get the zoomies and they get mouthy, and that's where they're jumping. And those are the times where we're like, oh, you're a little too much. Let's go put you up.
So short term is kind of just a place for them to burn their energy that's, not out in the wild, a safe spot. The long term is they do kind of form friendships here. There are a couple of dogs that are like, hey, you're my buddy. Like as soon as they walk in, they see each other. They're pretty jazzed to kind of hang out. They definitely have like a space that they know they can walk into comfortably. They know no one's going to trample them, a human friend and a bunch of other dog friends around. They definitely form a couple social bonds that I feel like definitely benefits them because they feel a little nervous the first couple days, and you can kind of tell the difference once they've been here for like a week. They're like, oh my gosh, my friends are all here and we're just going to hang out and have a good time.
For our dogs that are a little more nervous, it will allow them to interact with other dogs who have been socialized and have appropriate play behaviors so they can learn and grow from other dogs. They do that really well with one another. Whereas with people, they don't tend to get that same behavior between other dogs.
I know a couple of clients have been like, wow, it's like a new dog. He jumps right in the car. Like we don't even have to fight him. Even when we go to the vet, he's disappointed, but he got in the car. So it is kind of a little funny thing that sometimes dogs just kind of pick up on stuff and they're like, oh my gosh, this is not so bad. So don't expect the worst because your dog will definitely either make a friend or have a safe place to go during the day. So you're not worried that they're kind of sat at home bored. They'll have something to do. And maybe they'll meet a friend. Maybe they'll have a bunch of friends. But it's definitely, don't expect the worst, but you could get the best.
Thanks, Ben and Riley.
As these puppies settle into their new homes, students and staff of Francis Howell North have a similar task, adjusting to their new campus. In 2020, nearly 80% of the voters approved Proposition S, the largest bond issue in Missouri history. Prop S was set to put $244 million towards the Francis Howell School District's infrastructure.
As part of the deal, Francis Howell North High School was completely rebuilt from its cafeterias to its football fields.
As one building times ends, another gains a whole new meaning. La Mitchoacana, a family-owned Mexican restaurant that opened not even 6 months ago, has quickly earned a reputation for great food and an even better atmosphere. Here's a video by Sassy Garcia and Olivia Prentice on this brand new local business.
Off a traffic circle right here in St. Charles lies small restaurant La Mitchoacana.
Honestly, just driving this roundabout right here and the colors of the building caught my eye, and that's what introduced me to it.
The Mexican restaurant captures authenticity throughout the food they make,
especially the food, the ice cream, and the friendliness of the manager.
how they treat their clientele,
like by treating customers well, receiving them well, and keeping clean.
to the culture that they present.
I like that things are in Spanish first. I don't want to eat food that was made for Americans to like it. I want food that people who are from, South Central America, Mexico, to remind them of home.
As a child, just the rice, beans, and eggs you can find here. But the flavor is the difference. That is what is very different from the food that is here from there.
Many culturally different restaurants face diversity, but as for La Michoacana,
Well, they just come in and they tell me about the food, that it's good, that the tacos are good, but have they talked badly? No, I don't believe so.
¿Que hablen mal? No, creo que no. No.
but at last all face obstacles.
In that case, sometimes yes. Well, because I don't know how to speak English, and I don't understand.
Though they face these problems, La Michoacana pushes them aside to bring cultural comfort for all to enjoy right here in St. Charles. I'm Sassy Garcia with FHNtoday, signing off.
Thanks, Sassy and Olivia.
Looking to the national stage, the inauguration of President Donald J. Trump took place on January 20th. Trump is now set to serve his next and last 4 years in office as the President of the United States. Alongside him as the Vice President is J.D. Vance, former Senator of Ohio.
The first immediate impact that the Trump administration had on the public was the push to unban TikTok for the time being. The app was banned on January 19th and was down for just 14 hours before its services were restored. TikTok stated that President Trump gave the necessary clarity and assurance to their providers. TikTok has received another 90-day extension to sell their company to an American industry.
Millions of teens across the country spend their time scrolling and posting on TikTok. However, some teenagers spend their days in the kitchen working part-time fast food jobs.
Here's a video by Ben Bartels on high school students who work in fast food and what they've learned from their experience.
Some of the typical responsibilities are making sure to clean up after a rush and stuff, making sure you get the correct orders out and stuff like that.
Typical responsibility would be making sure the fry area is clean. I think the reason it's so popular with high school kids is because it's one of the jobs that you don't need any outside experience to get into.
It's just they're more willing to hire teenagers, and it's easy to learn from it, as a first job. I do recommend them to go into fast food because I think it's a good it's a good place to learn and have a first job. It teaches you a lot of teamwork and planning and stuff.
I think it has positively affected my academic performance because it makes me manage my time better. Yes, I think it could definitely help you find a better job because I know my manager said that he's been working there since high school and he's 20-something. He's a manager now.
Yeah, it could help them find a better job. If they find that they like working in the food industry, that could help them find a better job. And it just you learn fundamental things working in fast food or retail and stuff like that.
I don't regret working fast food in high school because I haven't seen a lot of negative effects from it.
I don't regret it because I like my job.
You should just apply right now and just apply sooner than later.
Just make sure you talk to your manager and you're clear about what you can work and you don't put too much on your plate.
Thanks, Ben.
While working in fast food and scrolling through TikTok do take time, few things are as time-consuming as mastering the game of chess. A timeless classic played and enjoyed by every generation. The game is played on household coffee tables, restaurants, and even on your phone. Here's William Cohen with an overview of the world's best-selling board game.
Chess was first played in India during the Gupta dynasty in the 6th century. Today, more than 1,500 years later, it is still played in 172 countries, being considered by some to even be a test of human intellect. But how do you play this game? Well, chess is a turn-based board game. Each player's goal is to checkmate their opponent's king. You do this by leaving it no open moves where it can escape from capture. The king in chess can only move to any square it borders. The pawn can only move to the square right in front of it, but it can also move to its sides to capture an enemy piece if one is there. The bishop can move diagonally with 2 for each colored square. The rook can move horizontally, and the knight can move in any direction in an L shape. The queen can move diagonally and horizontally and is by far the most powerful piece in the game. Chess has a large variety of strategies and involves intense planning. For instance, here's a forced checkmate in 38 moves from the white player. Since the average chess game is 40 moves, it shows how far in advance you might have to plan at times. One of the greatest things you might enjoy about chess is the fact that there is no luck involved. The only thing left to chance is which colored pieces you will be playing. This means if you love the game enough, you could go play professional chess where skill decides everything. However, you need to watch out because some of the top players have played over 4,000 games of chess. If you want something more casual though, you could go online right now to a chess website and start playing. However, if you do, you might notice how hard it is to strategize. So what are some common mistakes to avoid? One common error is bringing your queen out early. This might seem counterintuitive since it is the most powerful piece. However, an unsupported queen can easily be trapped and destroyed by a skilled player. It's a good idea then to develop your pieces by sending them forward to create a position where your queen can then cause devastation with its proper backup. This is, however, just one of the hundreds of common errors you will have to learn to avoid. However, the feeling of properly defeating someone equal to you solely with your skill, your strategy, and your strategic planning might just be worth the effort.
Thanks, Will.
Heading away from the board and onto the field, last Monday, the College Football National Championship was played in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The 8th seed Ohio State Buckeyes overcame the 7th seed Notre Dame Fighting Irish in a 4-quarter shootout. The game was resolved at 34-23, securing OSU's claim on their 9th national title. The 24-25 season was a new chapter for NCAA football as they introduced a 12-team playoff bracket. This filled consumers' demand for more meaningful matchups late in the season.
Even with the college football season coming to an end, FHN Wrestling is keeping busy with 1 or 2 meets per week. Wrestling is a physically and mentally demanding sport, but it's all worth it for sophomore Wyatt Daniger.
In the world of wrestling, every ounce counts. For FHN wrestler Wyatt Daniger, gaining weight has been his toughest opponent yet. After years of struggle, he finally packed on the pounds this year, and now he looks more promising than ever.
I think, being small and, being able to still be good is keeping, technique and being fast on your feet and just staying hard in the practice room.
Finally getting over 100 pounds was a big thing. Last year he was weighing low 90s, wrestling guys that were at least 106, and by the time he got to state, most of those guys were at the minimum 108 pounds, and some of them are closer to 120. So that's a big obstacle to be able to overtake. So this year, as weighing around 106 pounds, he should be able to be very successful this year, just having more weight on his body.
I think I have a lot of advantages. Now that I weigh more, that I'll definitely be just as strong as these people are close to, and I should be winning most of my matches this season.
He knows positions that he could be in where he wouldn't get squished. That was our first tournament here at Hal North last year. He got squished by a kid that he was technically better than, and that kid had probably at least 10 pounds on him. So I think after that match, he started figuring out what he could do technically to be successful against bigger guys. And he kind of honed that over the year. Plus his defense is just great. He's got a great head block, which if you can't get to his legs, then it's really hard to score.
With his newfound strength and relentless determination, Wyatt Daniger is ready to do great at state, showing that hard work truly does pay off.
Probably looking pretty good. I'm hoping to win state. That's my goal this year.
Thanks for that, Yazan, and thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of The Nightly Show.
Make sure to follow us at FHNtoday on Instagram and TikTok, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a like and leave us a comment down below about what story you want to see us cover next episode. Once again, I'm Braeden Kettinger.
I'm Olivia Graeser.
Signing off.